All right, you wonderful young people, let's do this. Man, we're going to use one of these, a good old TI 30 series, Dixon Ticonderoga number 2. It's getting a little short. The eraser's getting a little worn out, and we're going to use a straight edge. Oh, man, let's do this. This is a paper 4, Cambridge IGCSE, syllabus 0444. This is from 2014 in the spring. This is problem number 7, so it's the 7th video in this series right here. All right, now these, you have to be really, really careful. You have to count carefully. Look at the detail. Look how on this graph, how on this coordinate plane, we've got a different scale for the x versus the y. This is tenths, it looks like. This is fifths, it looks like. I'd have to count more carefully. Let's make sure right here. Let's see if we can do this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Man. All right. So number 7 says complete the table of values for y equals x cubed minus 3x plus 1. It's worth 2 points. You got to plug in 1.5. They don't give you any room to do the work. But let's do it here. Let's see if we can do this on our calculator. Ready? All right. So negative. So I got to put a parentheses. Negative 1.5 cubed minus 3 times negative 1.5. And then plus number 1, and that's going to give us 2.125. 2.125. So that's a positive 2.125. Oh, there we go. And now let's put in the 1/2. Let's see here. So 0.5 cubed, and then, negative 0.5. Let's see, negative 0.5 cubed minus 3 times, let's see, negative 0.5, and then más uno, 2.375. All right, so here's the hard part for, this is the part I find difficult about this. Number 2 says that we need to graph this. A lot of times students get confused with this part right here. It says for negative 2.5 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2.5. That's just talking about the scale right here. That's all it's talking about. So we're talking about between here and here. And that's it. You see? All right, so let's go ahead and graph this. We have all of our coordinates right here. This is x, that's y, right? So negative 2.5 is right here. And negative 7.125. So here's negative 7 all the way down here. That would be 7.2. 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, you see? So it's going to be somewhere. So we got negative 2.5, which is right here. So it's going to be just a little bit past. I'm going to put an x. So that's negative 2.5 and negative 7 1/8. Is an eighth 1.25? Let's find out. 1 divided, I think so. I should know that off the top of my head. It's been a long day. 1.25, that's right. Okay, negative 2 and negative 1, that's right here. All right, negative 1.5 and 2.125. So negative 1.5 and 2.125. So negative 1.5, 2.125. So right there, right? Negative 1 and 3 right there. And I know you can't see the whole thing. I'm just reading these numbers off and plotting them. Negative 0.5 and 2.375. So it looks like it's going back down now. So negative 2. So this is 2.4. So negative 1/2 and just a little less than that. And let's see here. Next up, 0, 1. And then 1/2 and negative 0.4 almost. That's like right there. A little above that right there. And 1, negative 1. And then 1.5. Oh, that's weird. It looks like it comes back up again, doesn't it? 1.25. So it's going to be like right there, something like that. 2, 3 right here. And 2.5 and 9 and 1/8. So there's what we got. So now we've got all those. Now, one of the things you do when you make this graph, you have to make sure that your curve is what's called smooth and continuous. So do this with a pencil, do it nice and light. It's true you're supposed to use pen on these tests except for on the graphs. So nice and light, and then you can kind of go back and adjust and erase. So make sure they're curved through all of these points. And so this is what we think the graph's going to look something like. And that's a piece of art right there. All those English and history teachers are going to be jealous. They can't do any graphs like this. Okay. All right, so there's number one. Part A and B are done. Part C says, by drawing a suitable tangent line, so tangent line that just barely touches the curve at one point. And here's the idea, and this is a calculus concept. We're going to use that tangent line to estimate the slope of that curve, because the slope of the tangent line is going to be similar. It's going to be the same as the slope of the curve at that point. So it said let me make sure, at x equals 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to x equals 2, which is right here. We have to draw a tangent line right there. So I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to clean up my curve right there. Okay. So we have to go through that line, but so that we're not going through the curve more than one spot right here. So it looks like, oh man, it's hard to tell. I'm going to guess that that's it right there. Okay, could be wrong here. We'll see. Okay. And now we're gonna we're gonna see how that's worth 3 points right here. So one's gonna be for the doing tangent line correctly there, and then we're going to have to estimate the slope at that point. So slope is rise over run, right? So what we need to do is find 2 points we can use to count. So I'm going to use this one right here because I've got 2, 3. And then I've got, what is this? 1.5, comma, -1. Oh, okay. So we could use a slope formula there if we wanted, I guess. So that's going to be 2, 3, 2, 3, 1.5, comma, -1. Let me make sure those numbers are right. Yes. So let's see, 3 plus 1, 2 minus 1.5. That's 4 over 1/2, right? 0.5. So that looks like it's going to be something close to 8. And that is within the range. So I have the answer key up. The range says that the answers that are acceptable are 7.8 to 10.2. So if you're careful, you should be within that range. I did it, got lucky, I guess. We'll see. All right, so now it says use your graph to solve the equation. That's the equation we've had, right? Make sure. Yeah. Equals 1. So check this out. This is y equals 1. We have 3 answers. So look, we go here, and we go, here's where y equals 1, right? If we draw a horizontal line, everywhere here y equals 1, you see? So we've got a spot there, we've got one there, and we've got one there. And so we're looking for those 3 x values. So this x value here, let's see, that's going to be -1.8. That's 0. And this one is, let's see, 1.567, 1.7. So we got -1.8, 0, and 1.7. Now, there's a range of answers that are acceptable for this one too. Let me see if we're good on this one or not. So the acceptable answers, one was 0, one was 1.65 to -1.75, so we're good there, and the other was 1.65 to 1.75. So actually this one I would lose a point. I would lose a point there because my graph wasn't careful enough. Let's take a look and see if I counted wrong. No, my curve between here and that point weren't good enough. So now that's the problem with drawing by hand. All right, use your graph to complete the inequality here. All right, so it says, check this out. It says it's equal to k. We don't know what value k is. This problem, though, we have a clue about this problem from the previous. See where it's equal to 1? Here's the deal. It says it has 3 different solutions. And remember, this output is y. So we're looking for the range of the values of y where there are 3 solutions. So if we look at our graph right here, look, you see how it has a turning point right here is what this is called. And you see above this turning point, if we drew a line through above there, we'd have three solutions, 1, 2, and 3. Below it, we only have, like, at the point we have 2, and below we only have 1. Same works here. right? Above this, we're only going to have one solution. Below it, we have three. So between here and here, we're going to have three solutions. So that's between -1, 2, 3. So from -1 to 3, we should end up with three solutions. So from -1 to 3. Now, this also has a range of values. Let me check and see. So yes, this is correct. This is within the range of values that they provide us, 2.8 to 3.2. All right, so I think that these questions with these graphs right here are very tricky, very difficult. They're worth a lot of points. It's hard to get these perfect because of the way you have to sketch the graph. I should have been more careful right through there. If you remember, I even went back and erased this, and because I wasn't accurate, I was off by just a tenth. I would have lost a point there. But so this is worth what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13 points for one question. That's pretty hefty. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and we'll get to the next one soon.